Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 12 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a Q&A. Now, this is where I take all the questions that you've asked over the course of the week and I try to answer them to the best of my ability. Now, a few things that you need to know. First of all, thank you. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for any videos that you've watched or any comments that you've made or anything you've shared. I really appreciate it. This is a very hard thing to do, and it becomes harder by the day, especially as I'm very short-staffed in the office at the moment. We've got a few people off sick, and it's very difficult to take time away to do things like this. And the thing that keeps me going is you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I really appreciate it. I know there's people out there, and I'm not their cup of tea. But I know there's a lot of people out there and I am their cup of tea. So for those of you that watch and interact and have nice things to say, thank you so much. The other thing is on these videos, you're getting my raw, unfiltered opinions. In other words, I don't read these questions beforehand. I look at them and during the course of the video. So if I think that there's a question that really requires a longer video, it take too long to answer that question, I typically will get to that a little bit later on at some point down the line. I'll create a separate video for it. Also, you want to make sure that you get these questions in normally by a Tuesday. It's currently Tuesday today. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday at 2 o'clock and I'm filming the Q&A today because I've got a very busy week. So guaranteed to get your question answered, get it in by Monday. And if I miss your question, I'm very sorry. Drop it down below and I'll get back to it the following week. With that being said, I've just looked and there's a metric ton of questions. It's just like scrolling. So we're going to get straight into it without further ado with this week's Q&A. Let's do it. Okay, so the first question is from Robert Francis Magician 4210, who says, "Hi Craig, couple of quick questions. One, I recently retired from busking for 17 years. I'd like to share my knowledge with people by teaching a class on it. Do you have any advice on how to go about doing this?" Yes. Yes, I do. Two things. First of all, congratulations for such an amazingly long career doing something that you love. I have people asking me about busking all of the time. So one thing that I would love to do is do an interview with you on Magic TV. If you're up for it, just drop me an email, send it to info@magictv.org. Also, admin@thenetrix.com. and craig@magictv.org. That'll go through to Sarah, Michael and me, and one way or another I'll see it. I'd love to do an interview with you talking about your career as a busker. That would be amazing. Second of all, you might want to reach out to somebody like somebody like Peter Nardi at Alakazam, because they're always putting on new academies and they're always putting on different academies. And if you've got a lecture that you could do online as part of an academy where you're teaching how to be a busker and you're teaching routines and tricks and tips and so on and so forth, I know if I was Peter Nardi, I'd be really interested in that. So that is what I would do. I'd reach out to Peter Nardi. Outside of that, you know, once you want to build up a bit of a reputation for yourself, and you've probably already got a reputation, but then off the back of that, you could go and do lectures. You could even approach conventions and do conventions. I think you get the right lecture and maybe you have a little bit of product or something or some lecture notes. I reckon a lot of conventions and a lot of magic societies would be interested in hearing from you. So from my point of view, I'd happily do an interview with you that maybe will raise your profile even more. But outside of that, you know, just put your name out there, get your name out there, and I think you'll find that you'll have a lot of people interested in what you're doing. Okay, so the next question is from Robert Francis Magician again, who says, "I messaged you about focus on WhatsApp with a follow-up question. I know you're busy and you've got a lot going on. You haven't responded back. You're an inspiration to all of us and never give up." I will check that out. I'm very sorry. It has been so busy and we are very short-staffed in the office right now. So I'm trying to juggle doing all of these videos, preparing for Blackpool, along with running a company and going and performing, and it's very, very busy, and some things are slipping through the net. So I'm very, very sorry if I missed your WhatsApp. Just prompt me. Don't be afraid to prompt me. I do miss messages from time to time. If you want to get hold of me, I will not be offended if you send me like 2 or 3 messages, and I promise you I will get back to you. And thank you so much for the kind words. Okay, so the next question is Caleb D'Amico, who says, "Hi Craig, I hope you're doing amazing." Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for all you do, and I really mean that. You are more than welcome. I'm 16 years old and I'm a hobbyist at the moment, although I hope in the summer I will start doing gigs. That's exciting. That's a good age to start doing gigs. I was so excited to receive the Nightshade coin set this past Christmas, and it's been incredible. I love doing card magic. How, in a sort of a close-up restaurant setting, do you incorporate card and coin magic as you're strolling? Would you do coin magic for one table and then switch it to card magic at the next table? Or should you transition between coin and card magic to the same audience? Also, I can't wait for the atomic deck. Yeah, so first of all, the atomic deck's going to be mega special, man. Look, there's no right or wrong. I did a video on YouTube a couple of years ago called Creating Set Lists. Just type in Craig Petty, Creating Set List, Magic TV. It'll come up. I would like to say that Michael will put a link in the description or up there, but I very much doubt he will. However, by all means, go and watch that video. Here's what you need to do. So first of all, you have lots of different sets. You might have one set that's just coin orientated. You could do a set just from Nightshade very, very easily. You could start off with 4 coins, put a copper coin down to one side, maybe start off by doing throw coins across, then maybe put one of the coins away and go into like a 3-fly. Then you might want to kind of just put all the coins away and just have a copper coin, go into like the copper silver, finish off with like a 2-coin trick, make everything vanish at the end. There's no reason why you couldn't do a coin set and have a couple of different coin sets that you move between. However, it's also great to be able to maybe start with a coin thing and then move into a card thing. And it could be that you just do one coin trick that maybe ends with you vanishing the coins. So one thing I like to do all the time is the 2-coin trick off off Nightshade, and it ends with the coins disappearing. So you say how many coins are there, and you go, well, hey, should we do a card trick? You can then magically produce a pack of cards, and go into a card routine. The whole point of creating set lists is you think about how to transition from the one routine to the other routine. It's not really so much about the prop. It can be about the prop. So you could do a coins across, for example, and then after the coins across, say, you know what the problem is? These coins are quite small. Let me put these away and we'll use a deck of cards. Now you go into cards across, but with a deck of cards. You know, there's no right or wrong way of doing this. So, yeah, there you go. That's what I'd suggest. So have multiple sets. Some of them can be just coin focused. Some of them can start with coins and progress into cards. Some of them can just be card sets. The more sets that you have, especially in a restaurant environment, the better. So hopefully that helps, and thank you so much for the kind words. Okay, so the next question is Jay Faulkner, who says, hey Craig, Happy New Year to you and your family. Same to you. Hope all is well. Happy for the new Magic Podcast episode. My question is, was the flicking fingers the best part of the session for you? And did you and Lloyd end up showing off your trick? Yes, my trick was showed off a lot. Lloyd did it. I did it. You're talking about Big Blind, the poker chip trick. I was just basically running around doing 3 tricks over and over again. Which was Big Blind, which is my new Murphy's trick that's coming out on the 27th of January. The Atomic deck, which is obviously the any card at any number. It's the sequel to the Quantum deck. That's coming out just before Blackpool, if all the stars align. And the Spectrum Sharpie I was showing to everybody as well, which is my new TCC trick, my first trick with TCC. So I was running around showing these tricks to absolutely everybody. And the reactions were great. I was doing it to laymen, I was doing it to magicians, and you can see some of the footage of me doing the Atomic deck and doing Big Blind on Lloyd's video. So if you go and check out Lloyd's video on his channel, the best things I saw at the Session Magic Convention, you're going to see me performing both the Atomic deck and Big Blind. So yes, I was performing it an awful lot, and yeah, the best part of the session was the flicking fingers. If you go back and check out Magic News that went up on Tuesday, I did talk briefly about the Session Magic Convention and what I liked and what I didn't like. I might be doing a full review of it very, very soon, but for now, rest assured, yes, the flicking fingers were amazing. I love them all. They're so funny and so talented. It makes me sick. But yes, I was showing off my trick to everybody. Thanks for asking. And I am also glad that the Magic Podcast is back. Bad Khan, who 7649, hey, how you doing? Don't think I've ever posted before. Said Craig at the Chicago Magic Lounge would be absolutely nuts. I agree, it would be nuts. Chicago Magic Lounge, if you're watching this, please make it happen. I want to perform at your venue. I want to visit the Windy City. Let's do this. Okay, so the next question is from Dodgy Wheel, who says, hi Craig, on your goals video you mentioned increasing Netrix subscribers and how you have a good retention. I've been on the fence for ages. I'm just not sure how much as a hobbyist I would use it. Have you ever thought about a 7-day free trial or a first month half price, etc. to tip our lurkers over to signing up? Can't wait to see how your 2025 is your best year yet for you and your family. We do special offers from time to time. A couple of years ago we did a a week free. We did a 50% off Black Friday thing. We've done a few different deals in the past, and they've always been really well received. And you know what? Here's the thing. I want the Netrix to be the #1 streaming platform in the Magic community. I've set it up, you know, and I said 3 years ago when I set it up, I'm going to put 2 new tricks. I'm going to put 5 new tricks up every 2 weeks, and I have. No matter how busy I am, no matter if it's America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, with Ryland, all of this stuff that's gone on in my life, I always put up 5 new tricks every 2 weeks. Sometimes they're not by me, sometimes they're by contributors, but they always go up. Every week we have a VMC, 4 VMCs a month, every single month. And I'm always there for a couple of hours every single time. And that's the difference between the silver and the bronze. The bronze is all about tricks. The silver level, I've basically created my own magic club, and we have a laugh, and it's fantastic. And then you can see, as a silver level subscriber, all of the previous VMCs right back to the very, very first one. Yeah, I'm very, very proud of what the Netrix is. Look, I tell you what we're going to do. I tell you what I'll do. I'll put a 50% off coupon down below. So I will put a link in the description. Michael will put a link in the description that will give you 50% off. You go through checkout, and it'll give you 50% off for the first 2 months. 50% off for the first 2 months on silver and bronze level. And I'll give you a chance to try it. So all you do is you go through checkout. It'll reduce what you pay by 50%. For the first 2 months, it'll be 50% off, and then if you choose not to cancel and keep it on, like most people do, it'll go up to full price. And honestly, I think it's the best kept secret in Magic. I really do. So it's down below. Go and check it out. 50% off, and I'll run that code for a week, so it'll be valid for a week. Okay, so the next question is from Gavin Benson, who says, Happy New Year, Craig. Thanks for all the wonderful resources you've provided. You are more than welcome, Gavin. The Penguin Magic Christmas special was excellent. I enjoyed the comedy. It was honestly the most beneficial lecture I've seen. I learned a lot, not just about the tricks you performed, but took away the mindset of making tricks your own. Very inspiring. Thank you. Cheers, man. Honestly, that means a lot. Question on the way, but I also wanted to say that Matt's blockhead trick inspired me to learn it, and at this point I'm comfortable with 2 nails in each nostril. Bloody hell. I have a presentation with fake x-rays and a fake skull. It gets some gasps for sure. That's amazing, and that's what I wanted the blockumentary to do, to inspire people. That means a lot. So question, I have dialed in a lot over the past year. About 80% of that was from your advice. The other 20% was from me actually applying your advice. So thanks for making it easy for someone to like me, for someone like me. You're more than welcome, man. Honestly, it's comments like this that really make this whole thing worthwhile. This is a good problem to have, but how would you handle a situation like this? I'm early on in my performance. I have another 20 minutes of mind-blowing effects coming up, but after the first 1 or 2 tricks, you would think my job is finished. Humbly, that's great, but they've lost their minds and not sure if they have the strength to go anymore. Thoughts? This just so you're talking about being in a close-up environment. You're mingling around. You're doing mix and mingle. You've got a set that you want to do that runs for so long, but you feel that like maybe you need to cut it short. And this comes from experience, right? Here's the thing. I always subscribe to the theory of leave them wanting more. Even if it's an amazing group, if you go up to an amazing group and they are absolutely loving it, but you can kind of say, it happened to me. So I was doing a gig at Fulham Football Club the other day, and there's so many people, I've got to get around everybody. And I was doing this group, and they watch me every single time I'm at Fulham. And I went over to this group of people, and I was like, hey, my name's Craig, I'm the magician, blah, 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 blah. And I did some stuff for them. And they were like, oh my God, that's amazing. And this guy said, that is the best magic I've ever seen. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great night. And you could kind of tell, even though him and his entire group were loving it, you could tell he was trying to wrap it up. And I think it was because they were talking about something when I came over and they wanted to continue that conversation. It wasn't that they were not having a good time. I think they just wanted to continue with that conversation. Part of it is reading the room. And part of it is knowing, right, okay, I've done a good job here, but I need to take a step back. I cannot do this. I need to, you know, and it's reading the room, right? And moving away. And I was just like, hey, thanks very much. I'm going to be over there. If you want to see some more, call me over, right? I'll never forget having a conversation. This is years ago. I had a magician friend who no longer lives in the country. And he had the residency with a restaurant. And I'll tell you how long ago this was. This was when Blockbuster Video was still open. And I had a very good friend who worked in Blockbuster Video. And he had the residency on a Wednesday night, and I went in on the Friday. I was renting a video on the good old days. And I spoke to her. I was like, hey, how's things? And she knew I was a magician, obviously. And she was like, oh, I had the weirdest experience in the other night, a couple of nights ago. I was like, what that? And basically, she went to have a meal with her boyfriend. She'd been dating this guy for 6 months. And she was basically took him there to break up with him. And she told me that she just got to the point where she was about to say, it's over. He knew what was coming. And then this friend of mine came over and then, hey, I'm the magician. And she was like, I don't know how he couldn't tell that we didn't want to see magic. But he sat there for like 20 minutes. It was the most uncomfortable 20 minutes of my life because we both knew that I was splitting up with him and we were being forced to sit there and watch magic. And we were both too polite to say, okay, thanks, that's enough now. And I think that kind of sums up everything, which is, you need to read the room. You know, there's a lot of magicians that will just carry on performing and carry on performing. But for me, one of the things as being a close-up magician is knowing when to leave and leave them wanting more. I think that's very, very important. So yeah, you know, don't be afraid to leave early. Don't be afraid to park that material and move on to somebody else. But regarding everything else, thank you so much for the kind words. And I really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, so the next question is from Mystery Man, who says, hey, Craig, I've recently bought a trick that's still on the market, Orbit by Mark Parker and Jonathan Fox. I don't think I know that one. But the download is not working, so I don't know how to perform the trick. What should I do, or how should I go about doing this? Orbit, Mark Parker and Jonathan Fox. So, let's have a look. Orbit by Mark Parker and Jonathan Fox. So first of all, the first thing to do is potentially contact Mark Parker and Jonathan Fox and explain that the link's not working. It looks to me like it's available from everywhere. Let's just see if it's on Penguin Magic, because they normally list everything. Yes, Orbit, Mark Parker, Jonathan Fox. Yeah, it's a, looking at this, I don't even know this trick. Looking at this, it's a Murphy's item. So I would, and Murphy's have distributed it to everybody. So what I would do is I would contact Murphy's Magic, because they're the distributor. They've bought these units in. So they are, in a way, they will have more chance of getting hold of Mark Parker and Jonathan Fox than you will. So I'd send an email to Murphy's and say, hey, it's a dead link. I've bought this trick. The link's not working. Can you help? And their customer service team is really good. I think they'll be able to get in touch and figure out what's going wrong. It might be that it's hosted on their servers and there's a problem. It might be that it's not, but they've got access to the original video. I'd start with Murphy's Magic and I'd contact Murphy's. And if they can't help you, come back to me and let me know in the Q&A and I'll see what else we can do. Okay, so the next question is from Matto NC, who says, hi, Craig. I'm continually inspired by all that you do. Thank you very much. Magic TV and the Netrix have brought me back into magic as an enthusiastic hobbyist. That's amazing. I cannot thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for being in the Netrix and Magic TV. I have 2 goals for 2025. Perform at my local magic club and attend a Craig Petty lecture on this side of the Atlantic. I'm working on it, dude. I want to do a lecture tour in America. I have one question and one critique. I just bought Impodssible and I want to routine it with Chop. Do you have any ideas? In particular, I'm searching for motivation to bring in the Sharpie. Please wipe down the back of your MacBook. You're right. It's dirty. It is very, very dirty. This is the last dirty. I will clean it for the next Q&A. I promise you. Okay. Good point. Regarding the Chop thing, yeah, I'm actually, funny you say that, I'm actually doing a video very, very soon on combining Chop and Impodssible, because the two of them in fact, I've got Impodssible just over there, along with Chop, because I've been putting various different things together for it, because they do work together really, really well. So I'm doing a kind of a hows and whys on Impodssible. That's going to be coming soon, and I am talking about how to combine it with Chop. So if you don't mind waiting a little bit, I can definitely sort that out for you. It'll definitely be going on Magic TV. As for the laptop, thank you. Okay, so the next question is from Radio Man J, who says, "Hey Craig, I've been in magic less than 2 years, and I know it's a very short time. Yeah, but 2 years, still a lot. I started from nothing at the age of 40, but in this time developed a very strong love of magic, to the point that I think about magic most of my awake time. I've always been a creative person. In the past, for example, I wrote a narrative book, and as soon as I got into magic, I started thinking about inventing new tricks." Awesome. That's one of the great things about magic. You can gravitate towards creativity right early on. That's just how my brain works. I don't want to sound presumptuous, but I think at least some of them would be worthy of publication. However, I'm totally unknown in the world of magic. Since I have a family and a day job, I'll never be able to jump from gig to gig and make a name for myself that way. One thing I've been thinking of is opening a YouTube channel and sharing some tricks I create with the magic community, because I would really enjoy that. Do you think a trick basically becomes unpublishable once it's shared out in the open or on YouTube or similar? Can one approach a magic company and submit them a trick that's previously been self-exposed out in the open? I don't think it can. I might be wrong, but the thing is, there are so many new tricks that have been produced over the years, and there's so many new tricks that are submitted to magic producers all the time. That they can be very picky and choosy over which ones that they actually press go on. And I've been turned down by magic production companies. I'll tell you something. I had a great idea for a trick. At least I thought it was a great idea. I showed it to Penguin Magic. I'm kind of the face of Penguin Magic in some regards. Penguin Magic Creator of the Year 2 years in a row. I've just done a lecture at the Christmas special, and they turned around and they went, "Nah, we don't think it's a good fit for Penguin." Fine, cool, no problem. It's totally not an issue. Any production company can be really picky, right? They can. And they'll look at lots of different factors. And one of the factors that they'll look at is whether they're going to make money from it. Because at the end of the day, any magic production company is a business. And if that trick's already been out there for free, what's the benefit of them selling it, when you can get it for free? I would give you the same advice that I gave to Chris James. If you want an outlet for your creativity and you want to share ideas with people that eventually you might want to market yourself, I would set up a free account on the Penguin Partner Program. So you can set up an account on the Penguin Partner Program, and once you've got that account set up, you can basically publish a trick. You've got to create a little YouTube video. You've got to create a little tutorial, a little trailer, but you can publish any trick that you want to through the Penguin Partner Program. And when you do, they'll market it for you. They'll put it on their new arrivals. They'll put it in their on their website. They'll market it for you on your behalf, and then you can push people. You can have a YouTube channel as well talking about the trick and talking about how great the trick is. But if people want it, you push them through to the link that it's hosted at on Penguin. Now you can put the price for this as £0 and 0 pence or $0 and 0 cents, so it doesn't cost people anything. But it's not a YouTube video that's out there now. It's a trick that they have to go and buy. Or at least they have to add it to their cart, and they have to set up an account and go through all that side of things. And that makes it kind of more okay than just having it out there on YouTube for everybody. And eventually, if you do decide at some point to market that to a company and actually market it as a physical product, for example, you can just pull it from the Penguin site, and you can just use all the reviews that you've had from Penguin to help market it as a physical product. So if you want an outlet for your creativity, that's what I would do. I would seriously consider setting up a Penguin Partner Program and doing it through Penguin. Right, so that's my advice. But magic's a great place to be, especially if you want to create magic. So create and share. That's what I would suggest. Okay, so the next video is from Tom Cocker Official, who says, "Hi Craig, thanks for everything you do. Your videos are so helpful and inspiring. You're more than welcome. I recently watched your video on creating set lists and pocket management for close-up gigs. I was just wondering, even if you have a few different set lists for the tricks in your pockets, how do you go about not repeating the same tricks when you run out of tricks you have that are in your pockets? Also, would you perform the next set list to the table next to the one you've just performed, or would you move on to a table on the other side of the room so that that previous table didn't see the same routine to potentially spoil the ending for the table you're about to perform for?" Honestly, I think you're overthinking it a little bit. I really do. There's some magicians that go out there and they just do the same set over and over and over again. Look, it's great to have multiple sets, and I love having multiple sets. But when you're in a gigging scenario, a gigging situation, don't overthink it too much. Don't think, oh my God, I've performed for this table, so now this table are going to see what I'm doing. You know, just go out and perform and make it funny and make it entertaining. I don't worry about having a certain amount of tricks in my pockets. I know with a deck of cards and 5 coins, I can probably do a different set to every single table all night long, and I'll never repeat a set once. Take tricks with you where you can perform the same tricks but make them look different. So for example, if you took a deck of cards and you took Focus, for example, or you took Heroes and Villains, to use one of my own tricks, you could do Oil and Water with a regular deck, and then Oil and Water with Focus, and then Oil and Water with Heroes and Villains. They come across as 3 completely different tricks, but you're doing the same thing 3 times. Then do Out of This World with Heroes and Villains, with Focus, and with a regular deck of cards. You've got 3 completely different tricks. The point I'm trying to make is you can change the prop and do the same trick and it comes across as a completely different trick. But please don't worry too much about having like, okay, so I've done that table. Now what set am I going to do at that table? Just vibe with the audience. Get used to listening to the audience. That's the big problem that most close-up magicians have. They don't listen to their audience. They talk to their audience and they don't let their audience have a word at all. I like listening to people. I like having a conversation with people. That's why my opening line is, hey, I heard this is the fun table. Is that right? Yeah, you guys are the fun table. I've been looking for you. Fantastic. My name's Craig. I'm the magician. How you doing? Have you ever seen a magician before? What sort of magic do you like? Get a vibe, get an interest, get a feeling for the type of magic they like. I was at a gig the other day and they were like, oh my God, I love that Darren Brown stuff. I'm going to go into some mentalism. I go up to a group of people and they go, I love Dynamo. Can you put a coin in a bottle? Yes, I can, and I can twist the middle of it as well and make it look really weird. You know, just listen to your audience. Don't just talk to them, but listen to them and try to make it so that listening to them gives you the information that you need to be able to tailor the performance for them. Okay, so the next question is from Punkala, who says, hi Craig, regarding your channel subscriber counts. Your content is a higher quality than, say, Doug Con's channel. No offense to him, he's fantastic. Yet his channels have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So what gives? Here are my conclusions. 1, you've carved out a niche that appeals to intermediate hobbyists and aspiring pro magicians, which by its definition is a relatively small number of people. 2, because with the Netrix you have a limited number of tutorials, and tutorials attract a lot of people. What you could do, however, is make a video like 10 card controls you can learn on the Netrix, where you basically show the controls without tutorials. Of course, your trick videos already do this, but you could do the same with sleights. I still think you should upload free tutorials occasionally. 3, aesthetic background. This, I think you should fix. If you look at Doug Con's or Sean Devine's videos, they are much nicer to look at because the background is so pleasing to the eye. If you know you're currently converting part of the man cave to your studio, that's a great thing. Just please consult a woman about the look and the colours. One of the strengths of this channel are the live performances and the fact that spectators don't seem to fake their reactions. The sit-down, laid-back way you do the performances works a lot better than the stand-up way you used to do them years ago. It's just that dreary background turns viewers away before they realise the content is actually top-notch. Whilst high upload frequency is good, you don't have to upload videos every single day. It's not something viewers care about. I agree completely, and I appreciate all the advice. I really, really do. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so this, where I film now, this is my office and my boardroom. If I turn the camera over here, you can see that I've been working all morning, and I've been dealing with sales calls and a whole bunch of stuff with various different companies all morning. And then I've come over here to film the Q&A. Then I'll get back to work. The problem is, this is my office, and a lot of the time I'm filming these videos in amongst a million things that I'm doing. You know, I'm not just filming. What am I trying to say here? A lot of what I do isn't just filming videos. So the problem is, yes, I could make the background here look really nice, but the reason there's a whiteboard behind me is because 3 or 4 times a week I'm doing training here for new entertainers with my kids' entertainment company. It would look weird if I had like posters and everything. And the problem is I'm very, very busy. So if I'm not at a gig, I'm normally in the office till about 6 o'clock at night. Now I am converting my man cave to a little bit of a studio, but if I film all of my videos there, I'm going to be up till 3 o'clock in the morning filming videos. I have to do some here, so I'm not going to be able to get half of the videos done. I've thought about this so many different ways, and the problem is, for me, YouTube is just a fun thing that I do. My goal with YouTube, yeah, I'd like to get more subscribers. That's not the goal with my YouTube channel. The goal with my, and you know, Doug Con is amazing. I do look at his stuff, but, you know, I'm not, the reason I don't do many shorts, the reason I don't do many tutorials, and I do some, but the reason I don't do many shorts like Doug does is because I'm not trying to attract people that aren't into magic. I'm trying to create a channel where, like you said correctly, people who are new into magic or people that have been doing it for a while can come and get advice on this or that or the other. If I wanted to build up a big YouTube channel, I'd completely change the way I'm doing things. I'd change the way that I film these videos. I'd change this room. I would spend less time in the office. I would be pumping out 5 or 6 shorts a day. But that's not what I want to do. Or maybe I will want to do it one day. But the bottom line is, this YouTube channel doesn't pay my bills. What pays my bills is the companies that I run from this office. And as much as I would love to convert this room into a studio, I've got a feeling that Rachel, who does my training for Nonstop Kids, and Sarah, who's the MD of that company, would not be too happy. So, you know, things will change over time. But I have to make priorities. I have to prioritize. And as much as I have prioritized Magic TV, and I continue to prioritize Magic TV, I have to accept that there's only so much that I can do. And I do have a day job. So the next question is from Illusionist Ed Zeus, who says, "Hi, I heard you're planning to expand the number of gold members. Where can I get in line? Thank you." Look for a video that's coming out in the next week. I'm going to be talking about gold memberships. I'm going to be talking about taking on 3 new gold members. I just need to get my head around exactly how that's going to work, but I am going to be putting a video up in the next week, and it's going to be kind of first come, first serve. Michael Warsham says, "Craig, I suggest you also include the roughing stick that Vanishing Ink sells in your review of different displays." I'm going to. It's not going to be a review either. It's going to be kind of a hows and whys. I'm going to be talking about how to use them and different tricks that you can do with them. But yeah, I will. The roughing sticks from Vanishing Ink. I don't really use roughing sticks, but I know a lot of people do, and they definitely have their place. So yeah, 100%. I will. So I'm Too Young to Die says, "Hey, I am SCA." I'm not too sure what it is. I am SCA, and I showed a fellow magician the Evoke deck. And the best thing I've bought in a long time. And I showed him Out of This World and Peter's Pocket Deal, where Poker Deal, when you only use the 10 cards. But it's annoying because he was like, you know that you can just use a normal deck with it, and how much did you pay for that, etc., etc. He's an older magician, but it does put people like myself right off what I do. I told him I love it and it makes me really excited to use it. Why? Okay, so that's the question. Right, okay. So you're basically saying that there's an older magician who said to you, why would you use the Evoke deck to do an Out of This World? Why would you use the Evoke deck to do a 10-card poker deal? You can do that with a regular deck. And he's right. You absolutely can do it with a regular deck. And if he doesn't see the value of using the Evoke deck to do those 2 tricks, that's absolutely fine. But the fact is, it makes the trick not a card trick. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it becomes a different trick. So you do a 10-card poker deal with a deck of cards. You do the Paul Gordon 10-card poker deal. It becomes about you manipulating and influencing the spectator so that either they win with a random poker hand or you win with a random poker hand. You do it with the Evoke deck and it becomes a more emotive piece where the spectator is able to focus and concentrate and attract positive affirmations and push away negative feelings. And that's a completely different trick. Now, it's a trick that the older magician that you're talking about might not want to do, and that's absolutely fine. But the use of these speciality decks that I've become known for in the last year, the reason you use them is to make your magic more relatable. So if you are a mentalist and you are wanting to really kind of make the spectator that you feel like you can get inside their head, doing a 10-card poker deal with emotions versus doing a straight 10-card poker deal with a regular deck is a much easier way to make them feel like you are inside their head. It's a much easier way. It's like a cheat code to mentalism. It's the same with an out of this world. You do an out of this world with a regular deck, well, they can separate red cards and black cards. They don't know how it's done, but there's nothing emotive there. You give them an Evoke deck and they separate positive emotions and negative emotions. You have people crying, like you see on the trailer for Evoke. You're never going to have people crying if they separate red cards and black cards. So look, here's this thing. This guy, he can't see the value in the Evoke deck. That's fine. Don't feel bad that he doesn't feel value in it because he's not performing for your audiences. You are. Look, I use focus more than I do Evoke because I'm not a hardcore mentalist. But there's times when I use Evoke when I know that situation warrants Evoke. It's always in my close-up case. But, focus is another example. With focus, I'm able to do, a routine that people relate to more because it's about it's about films, right? So, look, there's no right or wrong. My attitude is you're going to get told a lot by a lot of older magicians. A lot of older magicians think they know everything and they like to give advice when their advice is not warranted, needed, and the thing is, my advice on anything to do with people giving advice, which is ironic, I know, is only listen to the advice if you think it's useful, if you think it pertains to you. If you listen to somebody say something and you're like, well, that's wrong, don't listen to the advice. That's the best thing that I can say. Okay, so the next question is, again, I'm Too Young to Die, who says, my other question is, how can you use the 100th monkey with the card? I'm struggling to get a performance for it. You're going to see a performance very, very soon on a review show special of me using the 100th monkey principle. So look out for that. I can't really talk too much about 100th monkey on a YouTube video. I've got a feeling Chris Philpott wouldn't be very happy with me openly talking about his trick and how it works and how to perform it. But have a look at the review show special that's coming soon, and hopefully that'll give you some ideas. Okay, so Twat Monroe says, a lot of stage stuff hinges on confidence and how comfortable you are on stage. Very true. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become. The slowing down will happen with that as you get comfortable with performing and learning where the natural beats come in your performance and how the audience will react to that. Very true. It's all a function of doing it. The more you do it, the more you figure it out. 100%. The stuff about online feuds is that it's fine to engage with it if you're thick-skinned and it rolls off you, but it clearly upsets you at least as much as it does the people that you're fighting with. Better to just ignore it and move on under those circumstances. I used to enjoy online flame wars when I was younger. These days, I just don't have the time or energy. I say my piece and perhaps do a single follow-up response. But if I can't say everything I have to say about an issue in 2 posts or comments, well, that's on me. But you can't please all the people all the time. Some people will never like you, and that's okay. Yeah, I'm not wasting my time on this stuff anymore. I accidentally went onto the video on Unbiased channel to do with his water project. And, I saw a load of comments from people who, didn't have particularly nice things to say about me. And that would have normally made me very defensive, normally made me want to make a video about it. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I've kind of got this new mindset now in 2025 where I just don't care what people say about me, because the problem is anytime people say stuff like that, first of all, it's all with an account that's like nobody knows who they are, right? So they don't even want to tell me who they are. And also, people can say I'm a bad magician, I'm a bad card magician, I'm a bad creator, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. They can say whatever they want to. The bottom line is, there's nobody that I spent 8.5 months out of a year the #1 best-selling creator on Penguin Magic. I won every award there is to be won as a creator, and I've got thousands of people buying my tricks and saying that what I'm doing is making a difference. I listen to those people. Why should I listen to one person who very loudly says Craig's not a very good magician when I've got a bunch of people saying, oh my God, you've changed my life. Thank you so much for your channel. So, the louder they are, the more frustrated they are when I'm not even giving them any thought. And I'm not giving them any thought. I'm too busy doing other stuff that I love. So, yeah, you're absolutely right, Twat Monroe. Thank you very much for your post. And I agree with you completely. Okay, the next question is from Matt Sickmeyer, who says, hey, Craig, what's your thoughts on mentalism when it pertains to walk-around gigs? What stuff to stay away from and what works best when you only have a few minutes between spectators? I would just do quick stuff. Now, I'm not a mentalist by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, quick wins the race. Like really impactful. It's why, I joke with Matt, but the electronic die always gets a great reaction because it's very quick, it's very direct. Hold on to that die, shake it, you're thinking of a number, boom. In that respect, ESP symbols work really well for that same reason. It's why I love mind blocks and evoke and focus, because I can very quickly say, look, pick a Lego set. This is the Lego set you're thinking of. Pick a movie. This is the movie you're thinking of. Pick an emotion. This is the emotion you're thinking of. It can be very quick and it can be very direct, right? I also think that you can do a name reveal very, very quickly as well. One of my favourite things to do walk around if I'm doing mainly mentalism is a name reveal. I'll just use an Orphic wallet or something like Greek Peak wallet or something, Stealth Assassin. But I'll just have somebody write down the name of somebody from school that they knew, or a girlfriend or a boyfriend from school, and I'll tell them who they're thinking of. That's very, very direct. It's very quick. So I think that when you're doing mentalism, especially in a walk around situation, you've got to keep people's attention. It's not the time to do a 20-minute piece. That's not the time. This is the time to kind of do things a lot quicker, if that makes sense. Okay, so the next question is from Elkie, who says, hey, Craig, I recently came to the conclusion that given my ideas and how I want magic to look and feel, my magic would be best suited on stage, particularly with long, continuous shows. However, I'm not really sure how to put myself into the position to have those kind of performances. Starting with close-up seems more straightforward, and I'm not opposed to doing close-up performances, but I'm not sure if that's the best way to get to where I want to go. Any advice would be appreciated. Well, I don't know your age, but I would be putting myself into a situation where I can perform on stage anywhere and everywhere. Open mic nights is a great place. Just go out there, do a 5-minute spot, run around doing 5-minute spots everywhere that'll have you. If it's a comedy club, put together a 5-minute comedy set using magic. Go to retirement villages, offer your services for free. Hey, I want to put a half-an-hour show together. I'm working on new material. I will perform it for free for you. Contact anywhere and everywhere that offers entertainment and tell them, hey, I want to perform it for free. Go and hire a stage and sell tickets and get people to come along. Whatever you can do, go and hire a village hall for 50 quid and sell tickets and get people to come along and watch. Do whatever you... Busk is another great one. Be a busker. That's the best way to learn to perform in front of big groups, because you've got constant crowds all day. It's scary, it's intimidating, but it's a great way, and you'll know if you're doing well or not by how much money's in your hat. Go and perform. Go and hook up with a stage performer. Find a stage performer in your area and say, hey, you want to be a stage performer as well? I'd like to shadow you. Offer to carry their stuff. Offer to tech for them. Offer to, go and, help with their show. And then eventually they'll give you a 5-minute spot and a 10-minute spot and a 15-minute spot. Look for every opportunity. Look, here's the thing. For anybody will say there's no opportunities. There are opportunities out there if you make them happen. There's two types of people in this world. There's type of people that want things, that watch things happen, and there's type of people that make things happen. Be the type of person that makes things happen. Don't be the type of person that goes, oh, I've got no opportunities to perform on stage, I'll just do close-up. Go and make those opportunities. And if you have to take a step back by doing stuff for free in order to get experience, in order to get out there and make a name for yourself and get social proof showing you as a stage entertainer, then that's what you have to do. That's what I did. I went and did the holiday park circuit for 2 years, and before that I did the ferries. Oh, the ferries were terrible. I made no money. I was away for a week at a time, but it gave me an opportunity to perform and get better and get better and get better. It was nuts, really. I was getting paid like 600 quid for a week. I was away for a week. I had a family at home. I was barely covering the bills. I had absolutely no money ever. I was missing my family, I was missing my wife, I was missing my kids, but it gave me a great opportunity to go and perform. And I went and did it, and I went and did it, and I went and did it. I did a 3-week straight run where I didn't see my family for 3 weeks straight. It was horrible. And I made virtually no money from it, but it made me a better performer. And it allowed me to then go to showcases and showcase my act, which got agents interested in me. And then more agents got interested in me. And, you know, it just happened. You got to go out and kick down doors. Go and kick down doors. Don't stop. Don't give up. Keep going. Move forward. Always move forward. Never stop. Always find the latest opportunity. And when somebody tells you can't do something, fucking prove them wrong. Okay, so the next question is Stephen Devereaux, who said, "Hi Craig, hope you're well. Have you ever done the Blaney Stepladder Levitation?" No, I haven't. I came close to buying one once, but I didn't. I spent the money on something else. It is on my bucket list of illusions I would like to buy, but I've never actually got around to buying one. But yes, I would love to do it. And I'm always looking for a second-hand one. Anyone that's got a second-hand Blaney ladder levitation, let me know. Okay, so the next question is Archie Cox Magic, who says, "Thanks for all the advice on the imposter syndrome. It really helped. You're more than welcome, Archie. Because of this, I've decided to spend some time focusing on self-working magic, and maybe sleight of hand will come naturally. What commercial self-working routines do you perform that work at gigs?" I'm going to do a longer video about this, because this is a video that's actually worth talking about. This is like self-working tricks that will work at gigs, because a lot of self-working tricks won't work. They're long, they're boring, there's a ridiculous amount of dealing. So give me a week or two and I will do that. Okay, I'll put together a video on self-working tricks that will work at gigs, and never give up, Archie. Jason Staples says, "Speak to Benjamin Barnes at the Chicago Magic Lounge, mate." Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks very much. I'm on that. I'll get onto that right now. The next question is Adrian Stuter, who says, "Hi Craig, hope we're going to see Thea perform on Magic TV in the future." Definitely. My question, does she have a role model, and if so, who is it? Currently her role model is Ryland. However, I've started showing her videos of magicians and showing her a lot of videos of female magicians, and she really likes Ashley Goodwin. So Ashley Goodwin. So maybe Thea's going to be the next Ashley Goodwin and is going to start doing hardcore sleight of hand with cards. Who knows? But yes, she's really excited, and I'm sure you'll see her on Magic TV sooner rather than later. Okay, so the next question is Mystery Man 000, who says, "Hey Craig, in your opinion, what's the best smoke device for close-up that's still on the market?" The N3 by Bond Lee is the best one I've ever found. I don't really use smoke close-up, but knowing that device, because Ryland uses it in a piece on stage, knowing what it looks like, I think that is the best one that I've ever seen. Jason Staples says, "Hi Craig, the meetup on Wednesday at Blackpool, is it free or do you have to pay for it? Because it says on the House of Secrets you've got to pay £10. Yeah, so we're doing the podcast meetup again on the Wednesday at the House of Secrets. And I've got some really exciting stuff planned for it. Lloyd's going to be there, Jake's going to be there. They are charging to come in because they had a booking for that day. And they were like, "Oh, we got a booking." And I'm like, "Please." So they said, "Okay, but we're going to have to charge something because we could have rented the venue out." So there is a small charge. I think it's £10, but it's going to be absolutely worth it. I'm going to be hanging out there all Wednesday night. And I think I'm going to be doing a little mini lecture this year that's kind of a pre-Blackpool lecture on stuff that I've never actually talked about before. I'll mention that coming up closer to the date, but I've got some really good ideas. Hopefully, and anybody who wants to book onto the Wednesday night meetup, you can just go and do so on the website. Okay, so the next question is from John2239, who says, "Hi Craig, thanks for all the great service to the Magic community. My question is, have you planned to demonstrate some of the Tribloon routines? I'm still on the fence regarding purchasing it. I'm not sure I'll get any mileage from this particular coin set. Can you please advise? Always trust your unbiased opinion. Thanks, John." Yeah, I'm planning on doing a review in the next couple of weeks on the Tribloon set, and I'm going to go into very big detail on tricks. I'll perform a few different tricks off the project. I just haven't had time since Blackpool, since Christmas, but I will be getting onto that. That's on my list of review shows to do. In fact, it'll probably be dropping before Christmas, before the end of January. It's been a long day, just ignore me. Okay, so the next question is from Andy Putt, who has talked about me lecturing. I'm not going to read all that out because there's about 7 paragraphs, but yes. Harry Harrington is amazing. I love him to bits. He's such a really good guy. But you have several questions, right? So question 1. I saw your goals for 2025. Love it. Heard you want to add some gold Netrix spots. Is it possible for you to do 2 of those 5 spots that are going to be flexible spots? I understand that you do this to monitor progress. If I'm not mistaken, the gold membership costs £100 a month. So that's why you see the following numbers. But maybe you can make 1 spot a 2-session package where you get 2 spots a month, and 1 spot a 3-session package and 3 spots a month between 2 sessions. That way you can help 12 people. Oh God, that's confusing. You can open up spots to claim every 2 months, and people need to fill and why they need your help. I'm planning on doing 3 new spots on the Netrix, 3 new gold slots. But I'm also planning on maybe offering a one-off slot where you just get like a consultation with me for either an hour and a half, or 2 hours. I'm planning on doing that. And I'll be announcing it soon, because a lot of people do want to have like a one-off conversation with me about something or another, and want my advice on whatever it may be. So I am actually adding that to the site at some point. I'm hoping to get it sorted by Blackpool. I just need to kind of work out how that will look. But yeah, I am planning on kind of doing something similar, but we'll have like a one-off thing that people can purchase. Okay, so next question from Andy Putt. The year's goal for me is to perform for strangers. You said in an earlier Q&A to different people to look for an open stage night. I found one in my city. We have the biggest theatre in the Netherlands, and once a month from September to April, they organise an open stage. It's 3 acts getting 30 minutes each to perform. It doesn't matter if you have 10 years of stage experience or you're just for the first time. My question is, do you think it's smart to start a 30-minute act for the first time on stage, or do you recommend starting with a 5 or a 10-minute open stage night? Creating 30 minutes isn't a problem in my situation, but for the first time, is that too long? I really want to make a step towards performing this year, so please give your insights on this. Really, it's down to the individual, Andy. Look, you could just rip the bandage off, rip the plaster off, and just go for a half an hour set. In all honesty, you know, you're going to have to do that eventually if you want to perform on stage, so why not just jump straight in? You'll learn more. Here's the thing. You never are going to be perfect the first time you perform. For the first maybe 6 months of me performing on stage, I came off stage feeling like I died on my arse every single night. Every night I came off stage thinking that I died on my arse. And here's the thing, I did die on my arse, but I got better every single time. It's that old expression, it's fine to fail as long as you fail forwards. And the problem is, a lot of people don't perform on stage because they're scared of dying. And I totally understand that, but it's the way to get better. So I would say go for the half an hour, put together a 30-minute stage show that you're happy with. I guarantee you it won't go as well as you want it to go. I guarantee you will learn a hell of a lot. The key thing is, before you then go on stage again, to learn, look, film the thing, watch the video back, make a list of stuff that you could have done better, fix the stuff that you didn't think was very good, and then go and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And that's how you get better. Flight time and putting yourself out there into positions and situations that most people won't find themselves in. Okay, so one final question from Andy Putt. Do you have someone to go to for prototyping something for a trick or a project? I don't know about cards or sponge balls. I know a lot of the time a company like Penguin or Murphy's makes something for you, but do you know someone who can help with a prototype? Like you see, I'm going to take my magic in 2025 freaking seriously. I will tombstone pile drive myself into taking the next steps of my magical life. This was my TED talk, but seriously, thanks again, Craig. Boom. Okay, you're more than welcome. Okay, so I kind of, if I need to prototype something and a company is not going to do it for me, I'll just do research on the internet. Like, I've got Phil, who I'll go to for advice when it comes to anything to do with graphic design. The 3 people I tend to go to first are Phil Smith, John Morton, and Drew Perry. I'll typically go to Drew Perry if I need a genius that can make something that I don't think is possible. I'll go to John Morton if I need something that a genius can put together that I can't do, and the same with Phil, really. They've all got their key, and Guy Barrett is the 4th person. So Guy Barrett, who creates all of my illusions. Between the four of them, they're the four people I go to when I need advice and guidance and support and so on and so forth. And I tend to find that even if they can't do the thing that I need them to do, even if they can't help me, they will be able to point me in the right direction, or they'll give me a name of somebody who can help. Although normally between the four of them, one of them is going to come up with the method. But there you go. That's what I can say. Network yourself in the magic industry. Find people that are brilliant at the things that you're not very good at, and make friends with them. You never know when you need them. So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. That is another Q&A in the bag. Thank you once again for joining us right here on Magic TV. Now, don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Don't forget, if you want to join the Netrix, you can do so by going to Netrix.com. It's my online streaming platform for magicians. It's open and ready for business right now. Go and see what all the fuss is about and why so many people have joined and why the retention rate is so good. And outside of that, I will see you again soon. Don't forget, we've got a really cool review show special coming up tonight. Watch out for that. Go check out the Talk Magic from yesterday. I'll see you again. My name's Craig from Magic TV.